Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Fachrizal Rinaldi. You can call me Rizal. I am 22 years old. I'm studying at University of Pancasila majoring in law. Today, I will explain about corruption in Indonesia. So, here are some things that I will discuss about corruption in coding. Number one, general explanation. The term corruption is no longer foreign to the ears of Indonesian people. In the media, on television or the radio, the term corruption seems not far from our lives, culturally not something to be proud of. The word corruption comes from the Latin corruptio or corruptus. Corruptio has various meanings, namely the act of demanding for destroying. Corruption is also different outlooks, uglies, apathy, depravity, disharmony, corruptibility, immorality, defecation from purity, words of the attracts that are insulting or strenuous. The word corruptio has English to into the word corruption or Dutch in become corruptie. The word corruptie in Dutch has the Indonesian vocabulary as corruption. According to the Big Indonesian Dictionary (KBBI), corruption in the mismanagement or misuse of the state's money, companies, organization, foundation, age, for personal or the people again. Another defective of corruption was present by the World Bank in the 2000, namely corruption in the abode of public power for private gain. This World Bank definition has become an international standard in formulating corruption. Point to type of corruption. According to Zainal Abidin, there are two types of corruption based on the amount of money corrupted and the origin or class of the perpetrator, namely corruption. Corruption occurs in the big chaotic employment and the perpetrator are the betrayed of low-level employees. The firm usually take or asks for bribes in the relatively small amounts for the public. This type of corruption is often called petty corruption. Political corruption, the preparation or political influence. High-ranking government official and law afraid inside to outside the court. Corruption inflates the relatively range amount of money of and the people who have high position in the society, the business world of government. This type of corruption is called governing corruption. Point three, curb about corruption. The Corruption Extra Commission of or KPK in on the state institution mandated to electoral corruption in Indonesia. This commission was executed based on the law number 30 of 2002, correcting the Corruption Additional Commission in crying out its doubts and authority. The Corruption Educational Commission is independent and free from the influence of any power, including including the government and other states institutions. Through its journey, the KBK has undercover and resolved many corruption cases. Based on the type of cases, the most frequently handled criminal act of corruption by corruptio education commit are breach of gratification. Based on data from Indonesian Corruption Watch ICW, there are 579 corruption cases that have been prosecuted in Indonesia through 2022. This number has increased by 8.60% compared to the previous years, which the 533 cases. From the various cases on 1960, people were named as suspect for domestic corruption. The number also increased by 19.01% compared to 2021, when there were 1,173 suspects. In detail, the Attorney General Office Kejagung will the law enforcement agency that handled the most corruption in 2022, namely 450 cases. The Attorney General Office also named 909 people as suspect in the corruption last year. After that, there in the government sector with 54 corruption cases last year. As many as 40 cases of corruption occurring in the education sector in 2022. Then there were 50 cases of corruption in the natural resource and banking sector. Point 4. Processment for corruption. Law number 1 of 2022 connecting the criminal code KUHP reduces penalty for corruption. The criminal code regulation penalty for corruptor in Article 630. Punishment include imprisonment and fines. Any person who unlawfully commit under act of every health himself another person or corruption which is detrimental to state finances of the state's economy shall be published the life imprisonment or employees for minimum of 2 years and maximum of 20 years and a fine of the less category 2 and maximum of category 6 read as article 603 the criminal code. The category of fine is regulation articles 79 of the criminal code. The fine for category 2 is 10 million rupiah, while category 6 in the 2 billion rupiah. The penalty for corruption in the criminal code and smaller than the penalty in the corruption eradication law UU Tipikor. Article 2 of the corruption law states the prison stage for corruption in the last 4 years in prison. The maximum prison stage for corruption is 20 years. Apart from there, the corruption law regulates fines for corruption of the last 200 million rupiah. The maximum fine 1 billion rupiah. The corruption law regulation the death penalty for corruption who commit corruption. The country is the danger. The rules in the include in the criminal code. In the event then the criminal act of corruption as entered in paragraph 1 is convicted under circumstances, the death penalty can be employed. Read Article 2, Paragraph 2 of the Corruption Law. Point 5, Summary. We Do we really understand the meaning of corruption and the meaning of anti-corruption, because it's not just throwing state money. There are other things that fall into the category of corruption. Corruption has various meaning, namely of the act of damage or destroying. Corruption is also defined as usually depravity, dishonestly, corruption, immorality, defamation for handlings, word of the utterances that are insulting or stertorous. According to Zainal Abidin, there are two types of corruption based on the amount of money corrupted and the origin of class the perpetrator, namely bureaucratic corruption occurs in the bureaucratic environment and the perpetrator the bureaucrat of low level employees. The political corruption, the perpetrator are political in the Plymouth high-ranking government official, and the law operates inside or out the court. Static total of the 138 corruption cases involving their 107 suspects were handling by the national police. Meanwhile, only 36 cases were handled the Corruption Educational Commission (KPK) with 150 suspects. Meanwhile, the most corruption occurred in the field sector in 2022, namely 155 cases. This number is inflated to 26.77% of the total corruption cases handling by law officers in 2022, apart from village corruption in the utility sector occurred frequently in 2022, namely 88 cases. Law number 1 of 2022 concurring the criminal code (KUHP) reserves penalty for corruption. The criminal code regulation publishment for corruption in Article 63. The section are in the form of employment in fines. The category of offense is regulation Article 79 of the Criminal Code. The fine for category 2 is 10 million rupiah, where currently 2 billion rupiah. Article 2 of the Corruption Law states order of punishment for corruption in the last 4 years in prison. The maximum prison for corruption 20 years. Apart from that, the corruption law also regulation fines for corruption of the last 200 million rupiah. The maximum fines 1 billion rupiah. Let's eradicate corruption from its roots. That's all from me. Sorry if there are any wrong words. Thank you for listening to explain about corruption. See you next time. Bye bye.